How's it going, everybody? In this video, I want to talk about my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera rig setup. I go through all the parts, show you how I put it together, and then we're going to look at some footage. Can you see that? I don't care. Okay, most of the cage components are small rig parts. Each part has like 12 Allen wrenches included. Like this handle has an Allen wrench. These handles are also from small rig. Each of them has an Allen wrench. The cage has an Allen wrench underneath. A lot of Allen wrenches, they're all the same size, which makes it really convenient to put on parts, take off parts. To start, the plate on the bottom. This Manfrotto plate on the bottom is the main plate that would go onto a tripod. Quick release mounting plate. The part number is 504P long. That I have sitting directly on top of a mounting plate with dual 15mm rod clamps. It's SM1775, and then I just have a quick release plate on top of that. If I'm doing a fast-paced shoot, I don't have time switching the rig out so I can put it on a gimbal. So this is really easy to be able to just pull the camera off, pop it on a Ronin, some kind of gimbal, and have the battery and the follow focus off. I don't know the part number for these handles right off the top of my head. I'll put the number right here. So then moving on to the top of the rig, we have the SSD holder. This is SM2245. This is another small rig part. SSD right here. So the SSD will just slide into that. The next part would be the top handle. Top handle's part number is SM1955. What I made a mistake of doing is I bought a part or to attach this handle to the top of the rig, but small rig makes this little bracket here so that I don't even need an adapter. I don't know why I would think I did, but I thought I did. I took the screws that came with it though, and I put them on either side of the center screw hole so that when you put the handle on, it tightens down, but if it were to be loose a little bit, it's not gonna slide off, because it could slide off all the way to the right side. So the screws are there just to keep the handle from sliding off left or right. Tighten that down. Now you got a nice solid handle for the top. You can hold it like this, you can hold it like that. Moving around to the back, this is the V-mount battery plate, and it basically just slides on the rails on the back, just like this. You can have it up like this. I've seen people like this. That's fine, I guess. The reason I didn't like it is because it sticks out really far, to the point where if I want to pull this in close to my body, the battery is really in the way with the V-mount battery being on there. The fact that I have an external monitor makes the fact that I can't see the screen all that well, it makes it okay. Now I can still get to the screen. When the battery's on here, I can still see that screen pretty well, right through. And I can still touch the screen as well. So this V-mount battery is the core power base edge, I guess it's called, and it's just like any normal V-mount battery. It just slides on like that. And then what's good about this is it has a display that shows you the approximate runtime. It shows you a battery percentage, if you have a bunch of things plugged in, how much time you have based on the amount of energy being pulled out. So it's very accurate. So with the speed booster on there, speed booster is really nice. It's like, how in depth should I go? This is the 0.64 times, this is the XL. This one is for full frame lenses. The other one being for crop censored lenses. That was kind of confusing before I bought this camera, in case you're wondering which Metabone speed booster to buy, the XL, which is the 0.64 or the 0.71 or whatever that one. That one's for non-full frame lenses. This is a full frame lens. This is the 0.64. So, with that on there, I can use my lenses. This SSD plugs in with this little cable. This is a much better option than getting CFast cards, in my opinion. The amount of record time I get on this card is insane. I'm not shooting ProRes, I'm filming in Blackmagic RAW, constant bitrate. I've been switching between 12:1 compression and 8:1. The stuff I'm doing right now, I don't really need all of that data. If it's internet stuff, if it's stuff for clients that's not going to be, commercial, broadcast, anything like that, 8:1 or 12:1 compression is just fine. It's a lot more than I thought it would be. This cable clamp on the side holds the cables in place. There's no way this thing's going to come out. The cable clamp number is SM2246, and that just screws into the side there, and then the cables are held in place. This cable goes to the external monitor. I'll probably do a separate video about this monitor. This is the Andycine 4K A6 Plus. This monitor is really good for the price, for the size. This monitor has a ton of features. I like to have the function buttons, or at least 2 of the function buttons on the Blackmagic set to focus peaking and false colors, and then I'll look at the camera screen for focus peaking and false colors, and then I'll have the external monitor just to frame my shot. It tilts. If you want this monitor, I would suggest getting an aftermarket arm. This is not the best arm. So it turns like this just fine, super smooth, but if you want to turn it left and right, it does not. If you want to turn it counterclockwise, it's going to unscrew itself. Now it's just loose. What you can do is turn it back and hope it tightens. You can kind of use your finger and screw it back in, or you can take one of the 25 Allen wrenches we have in the small rig cage and use that same size Allen wrench to tighten it back down. With this setup, these lenses, I've got a 50mm, an 85mm, and I'm probably gonna get a bit of a wider lens, but right now I have this SLR-Magic 8mm f4. This thing is insane. I got this lens on sale. I bought it on Amazon because it was out of stock on B&H, but this little guy is insane. If you put this thing on this camera, people won't know if you even have a lens on. Look at that. There's my finger. That's how big the lens is. But the image you get out of this thing is just bonkers. This is a crazy, it's not super wide, but there's like no distortion like you would expect there to be from an 8mm. On this camera with the Micro Four Thirds sensor, it's about a 16mm. It does best if you have the aperture above, there's a little mark in between 4 and 8. And usually between that little mark and 8, or you can have the aperture open a bit wider, but it's gonna be a little soft. So to pull focus with this lens, you've got this little itty bitty knob here. And the focus throw is so small anyway. It comes with a little UV filter to protect that lens right out of the box. So overall, the price of this camera is just, I still can't understand how this camera can be so cheap, and even with all of these other things that you really do need to get this working properly, this whole thing just blows me away. It's not expensive for what it is. The image that it produces is just stunning. The amount of detail in this 12:1 compressed image. In just a second, I want to show you some of the footage that we captured with this camera. This was one evening. It was a local, like a nature reserve. We went out in the field, this little prairie area that they had. It was probably around 5 o'clock. The sun was about to set, and we used the SLR-Magic 8mm with the Rokinon 50mm into the speed booster. The footage speaks for itself. I've only had this camera and all of the equipment to get it running for probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to go more in depth on each of the things, and I'll probably do a separate video on this monitor. There's just so much to talk about. I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to kind of show what I liked about it, how I put it together, the parts that I used, the footage that can come out of this thing, which is just insane. I'll probably end up doing a review of this camera, which is the Canon M50, which I just purchased. I did it for vlog reasons. It works pretty well as a second cam for these kind of setups, I think. We'll see how this goes, but That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. That'd be awesome. I didn't turn the blue light on. I didn't turn the red light on. Oh God. What? Unprepared. I am unprepared. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time.